Hi everyone, it's TTL back with another video for you. Now, I first saw this monstrous motherboard when I was at Computex earlier on this year, and I've been lucky enough to be given the green light to give you a quick preview. Okay then, so a quick preview, yes indeedums. So, it's an X399 motherboard, and they've done, it's all brand new from the ground up. There's quite a lot that we can talk about. But I'm saving the board for possibly testing some stuff later on. We will see. Anyway, hint, hint. So, inside the box, we're going to do this first, and I'll get the motherboard out. Well, it's actually down here. So, I can put it over here to tease you with, and then we will talk about it in depth in a bit. But first of all, in the box, we shall pop it open to have a look. Inside here, we have, I do believe, the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth dongles, which is, oh, this actually looks kind of cool. So I'm going to go through it all with you because it's quite an expensive board, and some of you might be interested in what actually comes inside the box. And it means that we can have a good old chat at the same time as well. So yeah, we have a tasty, there we go. Little clip, there we go. So there's your dongle. I'm not feeling any magnetics or anything though. No, which is a shame. It would have been nice if it was magnetic, because then it would have stuck on the top of the majority of cases. Anyway, so we have that. Underneath there we have warranty stuff. Yeah, it's all warranty gubbins. Then there is a pack down here. Oh, actually, there are some stickers in here for you to be able to mark and identify your cables with. Stickers here, you get your I/O shield. It's just a fairly normal I/O shield, other than it is black on the back. That's kind of cool. Then, when we open it, you've got the screws for the M.2s. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 SATA cables. Then you've got a selection of RGB extensions, addressable RGB extensions, and there are 3 thermal probes as well, because there are thermal points on the board where you can plug it in, and then you connect these with thermal tape wherever you want to keep temperature readings. There's another RGB extension here. You've got an SLI bridge, but the funkiest thing that you do get in the box is this. And I know a lot of you straight away now are going, why do they send you a graphics card? Well, it's actually not a graphics card. Underneath the hood on this, there is actually a PCB for 4 M.2 drives, and this is a massive heatsink. So underneath you've got some adjustable points where you can, depending on how long your M.2s are, there are some thermal probes as well. You can see the big heatsink here. There's thermal pads for it to go onto that heatsink. You've got a couple of switches, one's for LEDs and one's for this fan. And this 6-pin here, I'm assuming, is to help power the fan itself. But that's pretty much it. Looks like a graphics card, but it's actually a multi M.2 adapter. And then you can play with RAID and stuff depending on what drives you use. And, you know, the settings and all the stuff that you want to set up. But the main event. So, the MSI Creation X399 massive TR4 socket. The TR4 socket hasn't changed, isn't changing, a bit like what they've done with AM4. They're just pushing the boundaries of what they can do within this. Quad channel memory. So if we have a look around the outside, I will zoom you in. Now, first and foremost, all of those power phases. They're obviously planning on, well, let's say, powering some rather large CPUs with this. Because of the way that the internet and the computer industry works, there's certain things I'm not allowed to say. You can debate yourself in the comments. But yeah, you're probably right. So, CPU fan, then you've got a pump fan here for if you're running an AIO, 2 8-pins. Majority of CPUs you are going to need to use both of these. What are we focused on? Right, okay. So, we need to move the box. move this because we are uber technical. There we go. Will she come in? There we go. Okay, so there we go. CPU fan, pump fan, 2 8-pins. You've got some voltage pickups down the side. You've also got these here, little LEDs that can tell you what's going on. It does say in really, really tiny letters, boot, VGA, DRAM, CPU. You've got another couple of fans. This one says external fan. This one says system fan. This is that's a Corsair adapter on the board. Look at that. Wow, you can colour me a surprise. I am going to look into that in detail because I am surprised. 24 pin, USB 3.1, Gen 2, then you've got a couple of internal stroke external, sorry, horizontal USB 3s, then you get 8 SATAs. Down the bottom, we've got another system fan. This is an overclock switch. Please, for the love of God, don't use them. And it's just, they're just not that good. But everything else, yeah, just that we just don't need. So over here, USBs, 2 external ones, so that's all good. You've got some stuff over here, the little pins. You can see, I know I'm moving around all over the place. You can see there for your front panel headers. You can see that you've got LED stuff. That's what I'm going to be using in a minute. PCI readout here. That is where we're going over here. That's addressable RGB. More fans. Thermal sensors down here. This connector down the bottom, you don't necessarily need to use this unless you're absolutely racking the PCI Express out completely. Audio boost down the side. You've got a nice cover. This lights up, which I'll show you in a sec. You can see all of your connections around the back, BIOS, flashback, loads of connectivity, gigabit Ethernet, USB Type-C. It's actually all pretty good. Audio down the side. Again, when we get up to the top, there's an awful lot of power phases. Like, it's monstrous. Around the back, they've got braces and some covers, heat sinks as well, because you can see just underneath there is thermal pads there, and it is making direct contact. There are a couple of points around the back where they say make sure that you don't get your standoffs touching them, so that might be worth some of you thinking about. But I did make a little random promise. Now, I'm technically not meant to power the board up, but you know, this technically isn't powering it up. There's no CPU in there, but it does give us a light show to show you the RGBs on the board itself. It's just cycling through loads of things and I have no control over it. But it does mean that I can show you what's on the board and then also down the side of the board as well. So these will light up down around your sort of SATA cables and that sort of thing. And like I said, I have no control over these whatsoever. So it is really just to show you the lighting locations really, and the sort of things that you can do with it. So it's all addressable, which is all cool. So you can set it to go through loads of different colours, cycle your own specific colours, do some preset stuff. But I think more for this is to have a look at the aesthetics of where the RGBs are, just so that you can get a feel for what's going to be going on. Now, with the RGBs on this, I personally think that they've done a good job of matching in the heat sinks and the way that the lights are, rather than it being kind of bodged on. You can see that they've taken quite a bit of care with what's happening. You can see that you can cycle the locations and stuff like that. But don't forget, if you don't like RGBs and all of that sort of thing, you can just turn it off and you have yourself a black and silver board. But the fact that it is black and silver does mean that if you do like lighting, or you have a lighting theme or a colour theme or something like that, then you can use this to be able to bring those points out for you. Now, it's not particularly dark in here today, and yeah, maybe hints in the background of stuff that might be happening. But anyway, I'm probably going to get into trouble, so I'm going to leave you to it. This has been Tiny Tom Logan with the MSI X399 Creation motherboard, which I'm hoping to have reviewed for you in the not too distant future, because that's what it is. It's in the future. It's futuristic, pushing boundaries and all of that sort of stuff. Anyway, nice to have had you tuned in. If you haven't before, subscribe, all of that sort of stuff that I never normally say, but I'm trying to pad it out so that you remember to have a look around. Ha 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 ha.